Hey guys, we're Blends in 95, recording live from the local county prison cell. Well, it's been a rough October. Uh, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's had its ups and downs. I mean, there's been the Triple on Tom podcast I've been a part of. I was writing and managing an abridged series that's probably never going to get off the ground because I'm not there to, well, write and manage it. And, there's this, there's that, there's just a ton of stuff that, has been, and then this month has just really been, so I need something to, to boost my mood a little bit. I need something to lift my spirits. Which is why I am officially declaring, up until Astro Boy Mega Man gets released, I am officially declaring every fight that I do from now until then joke fights. Fights that are not meant to be taken seriously, but we're gonna take them seriously just because it's funnier that way. Now, we're not gonna see, like, what? We're not gonna see, like, the Bieber and Rebecca Black, or we're not gonna see the Chuck Norris and Sagan. We're not gonna do that, because really only they can do that. But these are fights that do sort of exist, but we'd never consider them. And by that, I pretty much mean Hanna-Barbera cartoons. That's pretty much going to be the extent of this, because, well, I mean, there's really nothing else we can do aside. There's really no other sillier thing. I've put cartoon characters in fights before, but this is more or less how that ends. So today, we are going to go ahead and start things off with Po from Kung Fu Panda versus Hong Kong Phooey. This ought to be good. Alright. So, start out with Po. Now, when Po started, yeah, he was a complete joke. But mainly because he was trying to be taught, or he was trying to learn Kung Fu in a style that didn't suit him. He was trying to go against himself. In the Avatar universe, they'd call that bitter work. When he decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and learn this my own way, he became formidable. This is a guy who beat Tai Lung, beat whoever the hell the guy was in the second movie, I didn't pay attention, and the show, which I didn't pay attention to either. And this is a guy who is on the level, and some would say even above the level, of all the members of the Furious Five. Now yes, his style, much in the sense of drunken boxing or something, utilizes his clumsiness to his advantage. He does use his, he does use his form, shall we say. He's fat. Yeah, okay, I'll say it. He's fat and he throws his weight around. But he still utilizes Kung Fu, but he just utilizes it in a way that you wouldn't expect. And a lot of his fighting style is based off throwing the opponent off, so. And then, of course, there is his signature move. What is it, the Mushi finger hold? Yeah. Which creates a giant explosion and essentially blows up the other person when you do it. So, yeah, that's Po. Let's move on to Hong Kong Phooey. This is going to be a short episode, isn't it? So, Hong Kong Phooey, the #1 super guy, does legitimately, utilize kung fu to, defeat the bad guys. But of course, even he can't memorize all of the techniques needed for kung fu. So when he finds himself in a situation that one would normally not consider being in, he resorts to the techniques written in the, the Hong Kong Book of Kung Fu, and, which is a vast wealth of techniques and explanations that he can apparently, perform flawlessly just from reading them. Problem is, he never remembers any of these after reading them, so, he has to carry it around with him and look it up every time he comes to a situation. This could be when fighting a giant crab, when fighting a mummy, when fighting anything that anyone who has ever learned Kung Fu would never suspect to fight. Let's also not forget that this is the same guy who jumps into a filing cabinet and then somehow changes and then jumps back out of a completely different compartment of the filing cabinet without scratches or breaking bones. So, yeah. It's a very dangerous thing to do, by the way. I had to learn that the hard way, jumping into filing cabinets, expecting to pop back out of the bottom of them. No, does not work. Does not. That's called firemen using the jaws of life to get you out. That's what that is. But who is gonna win? Well, I gotta say this one goes to Poe. Not only does he have the heightened weight advantage and, the unexpectancy factor, but, that Wushu fingerhold, or that Mushi fingerhold is devastating. And also, while Hong Kong Phooey can, incapacitate several people, for someone like Poe, he would of course have to resort to the Hong Kong Book of Kung Fu, which would give Poe a perfect opening to do anything he needed. And while I have no doubt that there would be a technique in that book on how to fight a giant talking panda, obviously, Poe has fought people much more adept at martial arts than Hong Kong Phooey. So, I mean, clearly there'd really there would have to be no, problem with Poe dealing with whatever move came at him, despite how perfectly adept to the situation it could be. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Poe on this one. But, you know what? I am feeling a little better. Well, I guess I'll keep this going. So, till next time, Purple Engine 95, see ya.